Okay, guys, we're going to start soon. T minus 3 minutes. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is opening bell here in the New York Stock Exchange, 9:30 in the morning. We just had the U.S. CPI report come out. It came out hotter than expected. I actually had it right on my screen here. There we go. So, yes, it did come in hotter than expected. The index, all items less food and energy, rose 0.6%. But I think that's the number that the media is focusing on. But it's really the increases in shelter, food, medical care expenses. Those things are still affecting CPI in a way where it's still quite high. So, all right. So anyway, the important thing is, what's the market's reactions? The market just sold off about 75 points, so about 2% in the S&P 500. All right. I did open some hedges. I have some BlackBerry hedges that are actually doing extremely well right now. Yeah, they're at about a 50% gain already. So let me just show you guys. Again, these are just hedges because I have UUUU, I have, you know, HUT and ETH and PPC. So these are just hedges, and these I explained is because the gamma was way larger than the delta. So I just really wanted something that would pop. So I have BlackBerry and also Nokia as well. These two just had that higher gamma over delta. This one not selling off yet, so we'll see. All right, that's why I chose two. You know, sometimes you might not get a favorable reaction in one stock, especially a low dollar stock like this. But yeah, this one looks like it's going to pay off. If it keeps going down, that should explode. This is for the October 21st expiration. I know some of you guys were looking at October 14th, which, hey, that one did pretty good too. So that's not bad. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so that's the CPI. So if it keeps going down, we may see that undercut again. This 3600 zone, we've been talking about this 3600 zone as where there was a lot of negative gamma in the S&P 500. All right, and so we had these value lines, remember? And so if we lost 3600, I said there's a very good chance that dealers who are short puts will have to run and cover, okay? And if they cover, they have to buy puts, which means another market maker is going to have to sell those puts and sell the underlying, okay? Which that could create a cycle where we get all the way down to this zone right here, where we have some put walls that could potentially act as a springboard, okay? And again, my plan hasn't changed. I'm going to buy some SPY when it gets here, but it's definitely a possibility now, okay? I do think weakness will get more weakness, but it's all about closing prices. So in the end, I mean, this market has been known to make quick reversals at the end of the day. So you know what? I'm not gonna bet on it. I'm not gonna bet any more money on which way this is gonna go. I've already placed my bets, and now we'll just see what happens. All right. I know exactly what my max loss is gonna be, and I know what my potential profit could be. All right. So that's that. Let's see here. Let's see what else. Oh, it looks like the market might be coming back. You know what? I might go ahead here just live. I might just go ahead and take the BB right now. It wasn't as big as I thought. I might just close this one out and keep the Nokia ones open. Yeah, that's what I might do. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm doing it right now. There we go. Done. Okay. So there we go. I just went ahead and took profits on my BlackBerry. Made about 50% on those. That's fine. And then I'll keep the Nokia ones open just in case if there's further selling. And that's that. Okay. So let's see what has happened to our underlying data. You know what, guys? I forgot yesterday to post the junk bonds ADL, but I do have it completed with yesterday's closing numbers. Okay, so I'll show it to you guys here. I'll post this after I'm done with this episode. I'll post it back up again. But we had declines, 352 declines. Okay, so even though HYG went up, we had declines over advances. It is going down. It's still making new lower lows. We'll see what happens today. Where is HYG at for the day? I saw pre-market that it was down a lot, like 1.5%. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's still down. Okay. So still down. Probably will be. Unless it makes a miraculous recovery. Possible. Let's see, TIP, TLT also, gapping up. It gapped up on the report. Pre-market, I saw it was around here, but then it gapped up. Interesting. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. This could keep coming down too, which in that, that would mean that the market has certain expectations for the next one, then the next two inflation readings. But this CPI, remember guys, it looks like 3 to 6 months back. So it does take a few readings for price decreases to show up. It is an important number only because the Fed is using that, but it is backwards looking. And, there are some criticisms about why the Fed is looking at such a backwards looking number, but, that's a different story for a different day. Okay. So as far as the bond data is concerned, junk bonds ADL is going down. TIP, TLT is still elevated. We'll see what happens. Yields are spiking across the board right now. TNX, 2-year, 5-year. I have those TLT call spreads, which are like a hedge on my hedge. And those will probably end up going to zero, which is fine. They're very, very small positions. Again, hedge for my hedge. So they're even smaller than the hedges that I have for my main positions. Again, UUUU, all those, the usual suspects that I always talk about. But let's go ahead and look at them all. UUUU, oh, it's under the 6s again. So maybe our callers will pay off. We will see. If we're talking about UUUU, we have to also talk about the metal space. This was a key resistance just a couple of weeks ago. Will it act as support? We'll see. Okay. I don't put a lot of weight into stuff like this, as you guys know, but just in case I have it on my chart, it may be a level where, I don't know, certain institutions or maybe certain traders are looking for. Australian dollar is also worth looking at. They do have a correlation. I just had the chart up too on AUD and XME together. Let me pull that back up again. But yeah, Australia is one of those countries that exports a lot of minerals. And usually you see a correlation between them, okay? It does, and yesterday I said, hey, the metal space hadn't dropped yet, but Australian dollar has. Who's going to catch up? Who's going to go, is Australian dollar going to go up, or will XME come down? Well, it looks like the market kind of answered that question. XME is coming down. It looks like AUDUSD once again has moved in front of the metal space by about a couple sessions. It usually leads by a couple sessions from my studies. All right, this is something that I've studied extensively for a while. It's quite nice. It's a pretty good indicator. Australian dollars are pretty good. All right. Our other stocks in our other plan, HUT. Oh wow, it's getting back down into the 160s, 170s. That's our rebuy-in price. It was, I think mine was around 167, 166. So we're starting to approach that. I was too timid in my covered call approach. I was waiting for higher levels. Probably should have just done it here. Oh well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it is what it is. All right. So HUT. If it gets down to the 130s again, I'm doubling up on my shares again. All right. ETH. ETH is a position from 1241.47. This is the futures price, but here, let's go to physical. Physical, there's a little bit of a price discrepancy between futures and physical, but it looks like it undercut that green support line. So we will see. Now, with the dollar, with the volatility in the dollar, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to these levels here now, okay? Especially if gold will go down. If gold goes down as well, that would mean, we're looking at more like 800s or so. But if gold, can remain stable, then we're looking at like 950 area, okay? And if it gets to that zone, right here, and I presume it would when ETH gold ratio gets to around this level, 0.55. That is where I will have my bigger buy level for ETH. Okay. Japanese yen. I know a lot of you guys like to look at the Japanese yen. Japanese yen, I mean, our levels in Japanese yen did not work out. And thank goodness we did not take that trade. That trade would have been a disaster because it is a leveraged trade after all. And that, JOMO, yeah, joy of missing out, definitely. That is definite joy of missing out trade right there. I mean, it still keeps going up. It still keeps going up. It's crazy. We'll see. Okay, I'm not playing this. I'm not touching this anymore. No more. No thanks. No thanks. Okay. As far as our other data is concerned, let's take a look here. It's still, our high-low line is still going down. Again, no meaningful rally unless this goes up. This has been a true, I think, lifesaver. You know, as long as this is pointing down, I'm not taking any heavy longs. Except, you know, maybe some shares in something long-term or something like that. But no way. No way. Okay. Again, the MOAB is very dependent on this. This and our junk bonds ADL making higher highs, higher lows. Okay. So without these, no way. No MOAB. No mother of all buy the dip signals. Okay. Until this starts curving up, everything, liquidity starts improving. All right. New York Stock Exchange advanced decline line still coming down. Breadth is still decreasing in the market. Let's take a look at equal weighted. Equal weighted also now making new lows. Okay, if it closes in these levels, if it doesn't make a meaningful recovery today, that means we make new lows and equal weighted S&P 500. That means it's not just the big, large, mega cap tech stocks that are hurting. That means everybody's hurting as much or worse than before, right? Making new lows. If everybody's just making new lows, so that we'll see. Again, closing prices. Okay, I have no idea. You know, this market at the end of the day could make huge reversals. Okay, who knows? Who knows? Okay, we're already getting to a point under when it starts getting to 3,500s. I just looked at the options chain. When you get to the 3,500s, we start getting somewhat bullish in options positioning. All right, it's 3,600. 3,600 was that huge like negative gamma where, you know, you might see this gamma covering happening. But that is not the case now. All right. Once we start dipping under 3,500s, 3,400 is where we have these huge put walls though, much bigger than the 3,500s. That's where I can see, you know, a lot of pressure building up, and then just, you know, we can, that's where we'll get a bounce. Now, will that bounce last or not? I mean, our liquidity data suggests that that bounce will probably be short-lived. I'm going to have to look for maybe new short targets. I don't think we're going to get to 41.50. I mean, is it possible? Maybe, but that seems too far away. I want to look for another short position, maybe a little bit lower. But I'm not sure yet. I have to take a look. I got to look at some of our options data. Let's see what happens after today with OIs, and then I'll let you guys know if I change my short area. But for now, my plan still stands. 41.25, I buy puts on the way down, as long as our liquidity data remains weak. All right. So if however, if we get to 3,400, again, my plan still doesn't change. Here, I'll also buy some shares. I'm not going to sell puts here. I'll actually I'll just buy shares outright here. And then I'll probably take assignment of whatever I sold here for November. That's fine. That's what they're for. Just a last look. Nokia finally coming down. I still have those. BB, I got out of. I'm good with that. Okay. Well, let's see. Any questions? Anything you guys want to look at? TSM. What are you doing? Okay, TSM. You guys want to look at TSM? Oof. My goodness. They had good earnings. Well, better than expected. Let's not say good. It was better than expected. Okay. Oh, that's fine. TSM. This is definitely affecting Taiwan. Taiwan is actually selling off even more. So it looks like TSM is not as bad as the rest of Taiwan. I mean, but then, you know, it's a big component. It's a big component of the Taiwan stock market index. ZF, yes, that's a good one to watch. ZF. We are back into that dash is, well, we looked at those yields earlier, but yeah, the futures price, you can follow along. If you guys have, like, you know, different brokerage accounts, you can follow along using this ZF futures. But yeah, if they remember, I've been telling you guys this for months. I don't know how many times I repeated myself with this one. If this starts going down extremely fast, it becomes a dash for cash scenario. Okay. If it goes up beyond certain levels, then, you know, you know, this is still, the yield went up way too much here. Well, not too much, but it just went up a lot here. So yields will have to come down considerably in order for people to consider quote unquote cash is trash scenarios. That I don't think is going to happen for a while. But yes, the more this goes down, the more dash for cash happens. We'll actually look at the yields again one more time here. Let's actually look at the yields themselves, the 5-year. I mean, look at that. It just busts out of that high, this line. This was the high. This was the, yeah, so this was the high from this day, from October 11th. And it just bust right out from that. And it busts the highs from September. Okay, so we're at 4.3%, and the 2-year we're at 4.5%. Wow. So now investors can take money out. So if you're a fund manager right now, okay, and again, I talked about this before, in Wall Street, the number one objective of fund managers is not to get fired. So now what you can do as a fund manager is take money, take it out of risk, and meet more than half your quota by just putting it into a 2-year treasury. All right, you won't get fired for doing that. So that poses a very interesting dynamic for risk assets. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, closing prices. I'm not going to make any judgments right now. I'm just going to walk away from my screen, set some alerts, and do what I need to do. Yeah, we'll see. I have orders ready at around that 340 zone for SPY. So all of these, you know, guys, I think that's the way to trade, in my opinion. Walk away from your screen, set orders in advance, learn how to use one cancels the other orders, and enjoy life as the market handles itself. You know, I invest and trade for financial freedom, not, you know, to replace one job for another. You know, that's not my objective, at least. So just a suggestion, that's all. That's what I'll be doing. Any other things you guys want to look at? ASML. ASML? What is ASML? ASML. Okay. Oh, is this a tech company? Is this a chip company? Building TSM machines. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Semiconductor equipments. Oof. I mean, yeah, anything tech related, as long as TNX keeps going up, I mean, anything related to tech and related to growth is going to have a hard time, although it is backing off from its highs. We'll see. Again, closing prices already. It looks like the market was wanting to make a bounce already. Look at that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Closing prices, guys. Closing prices. Closing prices. I always keep telling you guys that. End of day prices. Closing prices. That's what's important. Intraday, it's all noise. It's all noise. Okay? You have no idea if this is just all algorithms just that spazzed out for a couple minutes. You have no idea. You have no idea of that. Okay? And anybody making a gambling right now on this is just, to me, that's foolish. But to each their own. Okay? Any other items you guys want to look at? Crypto, guys, you know, again, the crypto market, it's still, I mean, it's surprisingly very quiet. All right. I did not see anything before the CPI report. So maybe it's worth looking at now, actually. I didn't see anything. I didn't see any trades. I didn't see anything go through. Yeah, it's very, very quiet. Very quiet in options world and E. I guess everybody was just speculating on the merge, I guess. Is that what it is? Okay. We see these one-off, somewhat large-ish order come through. But really, it's not all that much. Was this just a singular call buy? Looks like it could have been. It looks like it. Somebody just bought $300,000 worth of calls. It could have been a closing order. Okay, it is. I mean, it is what it is. Or maybe they sold. Yeah, maybe they sold calls and they're buying back to close. Not sure. But still, that's not that big of an order, and it's just one. Okay, so again, I don't think, you know, options works well when there's a lot of participation and when the nominal value of that OI is high. You know, because that causes the need to hedge. But without that, it really has no, you know, it really won't help you trade this if the participation is this low. Maybe if participation comes back up again, we'll look at this again. But again, it's just not. What is ETH doing right now, actually? I realized that it went under our buy zone. Yeah, it went under, but okay, so it is what it is. I mean, we'll wait. I'm patient. I'm super patient, and I will wait for this. All right? Any other things you guys want to look at? Going once. Going twice. Okay, sold. And in that case, that is going to wrap up our session of the morning market memo. Links are in the description. Come join our Discord, be a part of our growing community. No sub fees, no paywalls, of the people, by the people, for the people. If you enjoyed our video, hit like, follow, subscribe, comment, show some love. I'll see you guys later on. I will try to do another session tomorrow, and I will get those data thunders out soon. Okay, so see you guys in the Discord. I'll hang around for